Hello. In this video, I'm going to walk you through assignment number 3 over typography. So the first thing we're going to look at before we go into the assignment is what the basics of typography are. So what's the difference between a typography and then a font relationship? And we're kind of look at what the purpose and the development of typography is, like why is it that we have multiple ones we can use, and then we'll kind of look at kind of how that works. So first, sometimes you've heard the term typeface, sometimes you've heard the term font. Font's typically what most people use, but technically there's two different things. So a typeface is the family of fonts, whereas a font is the specific font. So, for example, Arial, Helvetica, Times New Roman, Garamond, those are all typefaces, right? That's like the family. But the specific font might be Arial, bold, size 12, or Helvetica, italic, 28, superscript. That's the specific font. So when you hear typeface, that's like the overall family of the font, whereas the actual font is the specific one that you're using for that application, right? So that's the difference between typeface and font. So here's kind of an example. So Arial is a typeface, but there's a lot of different variations of it. So Arial, Arial bold, Arial italic, Arial black, black italic, Hebrew, narrow, Arial Unicode, rounded, MT bold, right? So there's a lot of different versions of it. So that's why a font is a specific type of typeface. It's not just the overall typeface, it's the specific one. So what's the purpose? So why do we have multiple ones? Well, the main reason is because you want it to support the message, you want to draw attention and provide visual cues. Those are the three important things that you want from a typeface. So first thing, you want to support the message. So this is an extreme example, but you see this is a typeface that was created out of foods and cooking utensils and things like that. So obviously, when you see it, it's supporting the message because you don't even have to look at any of this, and you're automatically going to think, okay, this is at least something dealing with food, more than likely like a cookbook or something like that, right? Because you don't even have to see what the content is. This is supporting the message, right? So this is an extreme version that's kind of showing you that it does support a message. You want to draw attention. So for this one, this is another extreme example, but it's all a typeface created out of jeans. And so all these kind of come together to create this pretty cool kind of typeface. Obviously, you wouldn't use it in most applications. It's for a specific purpose, but it draws attention to that, right? And provide visual cues. So you want it to stand out. You want it to look unique. And so a typeface can visually look different and kind of support your message in different ways. So these are kind of some examples of how this is text. It's typography, but it's not just your simple basic words, right? So we've seen this all the time, but we don't really think about it as typography, but it actually is. And so it's providing visual cues for a specific purpose. So for today's assignment, you're going to explore typography. So you're going to use typographies first off to tell me who you are. So you're going to kind of talk about yourself, and you're going to use typography for that. And then you're going to be given a list of words that you're going to find a typeface that works for that word. So here's the first part. So you'll put your name. So here's an example. And then you're going to put some describing words of you or your personality. And then you're going to find a typeface that you feel fits that word. So this looks more childish. This looks more relaxed. That looks sophisticated, funny, reflective, passionate, right? So you're going to find a typeface that fits that word. So that's part one. And then part two is you have a list of words. It used to be a lot longer than it is now. It used to be like 60 words. I dropped it to 40. But you're going to take the 40 words, and then you're going to find a typeface that fits for that word. So you can kind of see an example of what this would look like so. So let's actually look at the assignment. So for typography, like I said, part one, you're going to put your name. So type out your name, pick a typeface that reflects you and your personality. So it could be just one that you like. If you find one that maybe reflects your personality, you can most certainly use that. And then list a minimum of 3 traits of your personality. and then put a specific typeface that fits for each of those words. So here's the example I put together. And then part 2, you're going to take this list of words. So there's 40 different words, and you can either copy this whole thing, and then you can switch each one, or if you want to type them on your slide all over randomly, you can do that. It's really up to you. But you're going to take these words, and then you're going to change what the typography is for happy to fit the typeface that looks happy, right? And then do one that looks sad, one that looks joyful, angry, hot, cold, and just kind of go through and try to find a typeface that fits that. So try to only use each font a maximum of 2 times. So try, if you might see angry, and then you might also want to use it for grumpy, you could definitely do that. But don't try to not use it more than 2 times. So your computer has a bunch of them on there. So here's an example. My PDF application is actually not showing it correctly because it actually looks different than that. So you might see that better on your end. But so this is what you can do. So if you want, you can install fonts for free on your computer. So here's 2 website examples that you can use. So I'm going to show you kind of how that would work if you do decide to do that. So this is Font Squirrel. This is one that I've used before. You can find fonts. So with this one, it says offsite. If it says offsite, it's gonna take you somewhere else, and it's kind of harder to download it because a lot of times they want you to pay for it. But if it just says the download TTF or download OTF, then you're good to go. All you have to do is press on it. Let's say we want this one. It's gonna save that for me, and then now I can go to my downloads. Downloads, and because I'm full screen, it won't let me do it. So here we go. Okay, so it's saved this zip file here. If I open that up, it's going to give me a folder, and it's got this OTF file. If I just open this up, and I believe whether you're on Windows or Mac, it's going to do this. You're just going to press install font. It's going to validate it and then install that font. So now that font is on my computer. So now if I go open up, let's say, open up Microsoft PowerPoint. Moonless is the name of it. So if I put in some text, I can highlight this. Let's go see if Moonless is installed. So sometimes it installs automatically. Sometimes you might have to restart your computer to get it to go. So it looks like for me, I would have to restart my computer. But typically it'll show up after that. But so that's pretty much how you would install it. So you can pick a lot of them. So both of those websites have them for free. But like I said, if it says offsite, then it's probably going to ask you to pay for it somewhere else. But if it just says this or this, then it normally works. So I've used that a lot. So you can definitely do that. Once you install it, like I said, you probably have to restart your computer. So you might want to go find a bunch that you like and install them first. If you choose to do that, you don't have to. You can use the basic ones that your computer comes with. But if you want to find more, both of these websites are great. I've used them a lot, and they work pretty well. So that's what you're going to do. When you're finished, you'll save your PowerPoint file. Like I say for every assignment, make sure you save it. You can just save it as that PowerPoint file, and then I would go ahead and upload it when you're finished to Blackboard. Just as that PowerPoint file, go ahead and upload it. That way you have a backup online. That way if you lose all your work or it gets corrupted or something happens, you have a backup copy. And then this will be that 3rd assignment in your portfolio we turn in at the end of the semester. So that's what we have for this assignment. If you have any questions, make sure you send me an email. But if not, have fun.